I think India today is a very wonderful place to be in. It was close to my house. In some cases, the older sites, perhaps it's not worth going back. I would rather go for new sites and new areas.
Shanti,
Hi,
how are you?
Yeah, great. Nice to
Nice to
meet
see you again.
after a long time.
Yes. So can you please tell us your background and how you got into archaeology and prehistory?
Well, I was always interested in archaeology right from school. And my grandfather and my aunt, they were very enthusiastic about studies of the past. So I took it on from there, and I don't think there was much doubt in my mind ever. Getting into prehistory was because of Deccan College and the influence of teachers like Padaya Mishra ji, Dr. Sheila Mishra, Dr. Rajguru. All of them were so enthusiastic about this subject that I think that all of us, you also and Akhilesh and all of us were inspired by them.
And how did you decide to kind of focus on Tamil Nadu, Athirampakkam compared to other regions in India?
It was close to my house. Well, it was an interesting region, and when we read the literature, there were many issues with previous work. So I thought it would be great to look at the region again. And Athirampakkam was much later. There were many interesting sites there. Unfortunately, many of them have gone now, but out of all those sites, we decided to focus on Athirampakkam, and we had some others in mind. And so that's how it began. We thought it could help us address some of the questions we were looking at.
Okay.
And so we narrowed down on not one site, but 2 or 3 potential sites, and this was the first. Now we have moved on to the other one. So step by step.
Okay. So based on your experience, especially looking at the younger researchers coming up, them choosing topics, and even your colleagues like me deciding what to do ahead, how would you say that we can balance between reinvestigating known sites versus looking for new sites to investigate?
That's a great question. I think you have to do both. In some cases, the older sites, perhaps it's not worth going back. And in that case, you move on to something new and explore new areas. I think in India, there's also a great need to go to new areas. Because these are rapidly getting destroyed because of, as you correctly said today, infrastructure, development, agriculture. So even if it's just salvage, like you pointed out very rightly, it's very essential to do that. And I would rather go for new sites and new areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if students had to pinpoint specific research questions and focus on methodology and specific questions, what would you recommend? Like priority-wise?
Yeah, so that varies depending on the student's bent of mind.
And also the study area varies.
Study area. So if I want to study microlithic, northern Tamil Nadu is not a good place to do that. If I'm interested in some questions related to fauna and human interaction, I wouldn't do that in the same study region. I'd go somewhere else. So it depends on the interest of the individual. There are these big global questions that were talked about today. But in addition to those, there are lots of local, regional, small studies which are also meaningful. Extremely meaningful to look at patterns within a very small region and then to link it up with the big questions.
Right.
So that balance also should be brought about, and students should not attempt perhaps they should think about the big questions, but maybe it's not always possible to address that.
Right.
So whatever is capable, whatever the student is capable, which is, as you said also very rightly today, methodology is very important. Whatever you do, do it properly.
And would you say that students have a chance to learn all of these required methods in India, or do you think they need to go abroad for some things? And how can they balance that? Both of them?
Both of them. I think India today is a very wonderful place to be in. There are many, many experts, right from geomorphology, quaternary studies to experts in statistics, that's also there. But there are some things which can be learned and get better training abroad. So you have to see what you want to do, where the best experts you'd like to work with. They can be in India, they can be abroad, doesn't matter. And then you make your choice depending on the amount of funding you get, how do you want to go ahead. It's all about funding eventually.
Correct. I agree with you. And I see that I also noticed that you've traveled quite widely. You've been to various places, seen various sites. You've been to Levant, you've been to Africa, and then conferences as well. Besides Athirampakkam, which would you say is your favorite site outside of India,
outside of India.
that you it really struck you with the record, the context, the archaeology, the work being done?
I like best, of course, outside of India. India has magnificent sites. I can't even begin to select which one I prefer. Athirambakkam certainly, but there are many others. Abroad, I've had close connections with sites like GBY in the Levant, which I think has one of the best records for the Lower Paleolithic globally. So that is something really fascinating, and the fact that research at that site has continued for so many years, and every year Professor Gorin Inbar and her team are bringing out something new. So it's a very long-term planned research. And then Dr. Akhilesh and I have worked in Olduvai, so I find that whole range of sites and the quaternary studies, they're absolutely fascinating. But there are sites in North Africa, which we are going to, in Algeria, Professor Sarnoni sites, and those of Professor Simo in Ethiopia, which are also have a lot of relevance for India. And when looking at the Indian data, so this is what I really liked. And there are so many.
Great.
I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
Boisa Basin in China, that's another fascinating area, completely different. And the question of what that represents, I think the debates are still going on. So I find that also very, very interesting.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
It was
you.
wonderful to see you and interact with you, and I hope that we can again have these conversations in
Yeah,
the future.
absolutely. And you're one of my oldest friends, so I really like you questioning me. Thank you.
you.
Thank you.